Today we're talking about why earning a high salary might actually be holding you back. See, there's a reason why many successful men feel stuck and unfulfilled, and this is because they're not living life on their own terms. You might have a high salary, the job title, and the material success, but how do you actually find fulfillment, true fulfillment and meaning beyond the paycheck? This is a trap. And it's one of the hardest things to see when you're caught up in the hustle for more money and recognition, but here's the good news. There is a way out. I've seen countless high achievers, people just like you, who despite their success are still chasing something they can't quite define. And they all make one key mistake that keeps them trapped. It's not about working harder or pushing for that next promotion. See, this powerful shift has allowed these people to break free from the cycle of burnout and dissatisfaction and finally build lives that they love. So today I'm going to share with you exactly how to avoid becoming a wage slave to your career and how to reclaim your energy, your joy. And by the way, I'm John. I've helped people before unlock their secret to fulfilling a balanced life, keeping them from living paycheck to paycheck. Now let's dive in. I'm going to share with you a personal story, something very close to me that opened my eyes to this very problem. See, years ago I found myself in a position that many of you might recognize. On the surface, everything seemed perfect. I had a high-paying job, the prestigious title, fancy office, and the lifestyle to match. On paper, I was living the dream. I had everything I thought I ever wanted, but deep down, I felt growing emptiness that I couldn't ignore. And I remember waking up every morning with a knot in my stomach, dreading the day ahead. My alarm would go off, and before I opened my eyes, I already felt exhausted. It was as if the weight of the success was pressing down on me, suffocating me. I was on a treadmill running faster and faster, but going nowhere. See, the harder that I worked, the more I felt like I was losing myself. But I kept pushing through. After all, this was what I was supposed to do. And this was what I wanted, right? I had the career that so many people dreamed of. I had the money, the status, the perks. I made it. I convinced myself that I just needed to work harder to achieve more, and the fulfillment would eventually come. But it didn't. Instead, I was spending my nights staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep, thinking how much time away from my friends and family I was spending, and the things that brought me joy. I was disconnected from everything that mattered, except for the next deal, the next paycheck, or promotion. And I remember one specific weekend that hit me the hardest. I was sitting in my office one Saturday afternoon, staring at my desk. What I had been working on for months was finally complete. This was a huge win, and I should have been celebrating, but instead I felt empty and hollow. I felt like I had given everything, my time, my energy, to something that didn't truly matter. I thought back to all the sacrifices that I had made along the way, missing out on family gatherings, canceling plans, neglecting my health, and giving up hobbies that once brought me peace. I realized that I had become a slave to the wage. And what scared me most was I didn't even know how exactly I had gotten there. It was as if I had been so focused on climbing the ladder that I had forgotten to look around. And I had forgotten to more accurately remember all the things that I had been destroying and why they were important to me. So that was a turning point for me. I had asked myself some hard questions. What was all of this for? Was it worth the money, the title, prestige? Worth the cost of happiness? I realized I would never truly feel fulfilled unless I changed the way that I was living. And that's when I made a decision that changed my life. I would stop letting my career define me. I started to rebuild my life on my own terms, finding balance and reconnecting with my passions, investing in the things that actually brought me joy. And over time, I found a new way of life, a new way to live, where I wasn't driven by external markers, and I was able to achieve deeper fulfillment. Now that experience is what drives me to stand here today. I've seen too many men just like you caught up in the same trap, running the same race, feeling more and more disconnected from what truly matters, and I don't want that for you. So I'm here to tell you there is a way out. Today I'm going to share with you how you can break free from this cycle, reclaim your time and your energy, and finally start living a life that fulfills you, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. So it's an honor to be here before you today and have the opportunity to talk about something that I believe is incredibly important for your lives, your careers, and ultimately your happiness. I know that many of you already are in a position where you're making over 100,000, over 150,000 per year. And it's quite an achievement by any measure, but here's the thing. Earning a high salary is just one part of the equation. There's a dark side to success that not many people talk about. Something that can chip away at your spirit and leave you feeling stuck, frustrated, and ultimately miserable. And that's what I want to talk to you about. The truth is, the modern world is filled with men like you, who on paper have status, money, accomplishments, but still feel like wage slaves. They feel trapped. They feel like they've sold their time and their energy for a paycheck. And they're doing it day in and day out with little to show for it. They're facing stress. They're facing burnout, and they have a growing sense of dissatisfaction. See, this is something I don't want for any of you. And I hope by the end of this speech, by the end of this video, by the end of today, you'll leave with a new perspective on how to build a career and a life that doesn't just pay the bills, but truly, truly fulfills you. So let's get real. Let's talk about how to avoid being a miserable wage slave. There's the trap of success. Let's start by acknowledging something important. Success is relative. When you're a man and you're in your 20s or 30s, you have a six-figure salary, the world is at your feet, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you've made it. You have a car, you have a house, vacations, gadgets, and the status, right? You're living the dream. But here's the truth that I need you to internalize. You can have all those things and still feel like a slave to your job. You can have a high-paying job and still want, wake up every single morning dreading the day ahead. And you can hit your financial targets, achieve professional milestones, and still get this feeling of being unfulfilled. So for many of you, your career has become a treadmill. You're running at full speed ahead. You're not going anywhere. Your job is consuming your time and your energy. And your passion is really in something else. While money is important, don't get me wrong, it's not everything. The problem isn't money. The problem is that so many men get stuck in their mindset, this mindset that their worth is solely tied to their paycheck and their value to the world is measured in dollars and cents. And the issue is that we've been sold a lie. That if you just make more money, your life will be better. But here's the thing, it's not true. Money doesn't fix everything. It can give you freedom, yes, but it can't buy fulfillment. And if you're not careful, it can lead to something much, much worse. It can lead to misery. See, the danger of comfort. Why does this happen? Why do so many men, even when they're successful, feel like they're trapped in a soul-sucking cycle. I think it has to do with comfort. We're taught to chase comfort. We're told that we should seek stability, a steady paycheck, a predictable path, and for many, that comfort comes with a hefty salary. But here's the catch, it comes with a hefty sacrifice. The comfort can become a prison. When you're making good money, it's easy to convince yourself that this is what life is supposed to look like. You've achieved the goal. And now it's just about maintaining that same status quo. But I'm here to tell you comfort isn't life. It's not a life, it's a cage. It's easy to fall into a routine. Wake up, go to work, check off tasks, collect a paycheck, rinse and repeat. And before you know it, years have passed, and you've spent the majority of your time and your waking hours doing something that doesn't even bring you joy. Comfort can lull you into a false sense of security, but the real danger lies in complacency. When you stop questioning why you're doing what you're doing, when you accept your job is a necessary evil rather than something that serves your bigger purpose. And that's when the misery sets in. The price of sacrificing your time. Let's talk about that. Time is the most precious commodity you have. It's the one thing that you can never get back. And when you're in a high-paying job that demands long hours, high performance, it's easy to trade your time for money without realizing how expensive that trade is. You see, the true cost of your high salary isn't just the stress, the long hours, and the mental exhaustion. The true cost is what you're losing in terms of time. The time you could be spending with your loved ones, pursuing hobbies, building meaningful relationships, or simply living the life that you want to live. This is where many men go wrong. They sacrifice everything, their career, their work. They work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, believing that this next promotion, the next bonus, the next paycheck will bring them happiness, but it doesn't. They wake up one day realizing they spent years of their life pursuing of something that doesn't even matter in the end. And at the end of the day, your career is just one chapter of your life, or all your careers combined. Don't let it be the whole book. So how do you avoid becoming a miserable wage slave? How do you ensure that your career doesn't consume your life and that you're living a life that is actually fulfilling, both professionally and personally? Here are 3 key strategies for building a career that actually serves you. Number 1, find your true purpose. This is the hardest part, but it is also the most important. You got to ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? What is the deeper purpose behind your career? Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's building something meaningful. Maybe you're trying to create legacy. Maybe it's to help others. Whatever it is, it needs to be something that excites you and drives you beyond the paycheck. And if your job is just about earning money, you're going to burn out. But if it's aligned with your purpose, something that connects you with your passions and your values, then you'll feel motivated and fulfilled every single day. So don't just chase the money, chase the meaning. 2, create boundaries. High-paying jobs often come with expectations that you'll be available all hours. You'll sacrifice your personal time for the sake of your career. But that's a recipe for burnout. You're making somebody else money. Set boundaries, protect your time like it's sacred, because it is. Don't let the job bleed into every corner of your life. Schedule. Make time for your family. Your career should complement your life, not consume it. And then there's happiness. By investing in your personal growth. It's not all about work. Take time to invest outside your career. Learn skills that you can develop. Explore new interests. And invest in your physical and mental well-being. And when you prioritize your growth as a person, rather than just your career, you'll find yourself feeling more balanced, more fulfilled, and more energized. So I want to leave you guys with this. Your career is not your life. It's not your whole story. It's not defining you. It's just a paycheck. Bring it home. And remember, it's just a title on a business card. You're a man with dreams, with ambitions, passions that go far beyond the walls of your office. So I urge you, are you living for the next paycheck? Or are you living for something bigger? Don't let yourself fall into the trap of thinking that there's only one way, and that's being a wage slave. There's a whole world out there waiting for you. Explore it. Don't wait until you're burned out, bitter, resentful. Take control of your life, redefine your success on your terms, and build a career that fulfills you gives you your freedom, and allows you to live the life that you were meant to live. Thank you.